Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Dr. Testosterone, starring Dr. George N. Tuliatos and brought to you by his book, The Bible of Bodybuilding II, over 700 pages with everything you need to know about training, nutrition, supplementation, and of course, PEDs. While you're on Amazon.com getting that book, might as well get my book, Real Bodybuilding. What a great book. And before we get started, please subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Share this on your social media platforms. Give it a like, drop some comments, all that good stuff. And now all the way from Athens, Greece, please welcome the good Dr. George N. Tuliatos. Hey, George, how are you?
Good afternoon, Ron. Do you have the Super Bowl finals today?
Tonight, yes. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't even care who wins. I could care less.
Are you watching it?
Nah, I might go to my in-laws might have a party. I might just go over there. I don't watch football. I'm not very American. Yeah.
What about the Bodybuilding Super Bowl? When the tickets are released? I think it's February.
Which Super Bowl?
Miss Olympia.
Oh, yeah. They probably release those tickets soon. Question: What's like the one sport in Greece that everybody watches on TV?
Soccer and of course basketball. Yeah.
Okay, so like the World Cup, I'm sure people go bananas over that over there, right?
The World Cup, you mean in soccer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very famous. I mean, Greece twice managed to beat the finals.
Oh wow, yeah. Cool.
Of course, basketball is way more successful. I mean,
really.
You remember the Dream Team with Shaquille O'Neal, 1993? It was the Dream Team 3, I think, and it was against the Greek team, yeah, and it was quite a match.
Yeah, well, we had Michael Jordan on the team back then, right?
Oh, Michael Jordan was the number one. Then you have
okay. I'm a horrible sports fan. Horrible, man. Yeah, and as we speak, your baby Nicole is still next week. Okay, yeah. Well. This comes out in a couple days. We're recording on Super Bowl Sunday, so by the time this comes out, you may be a dad already. Who knows? I mean,
it's close to 6 pounds, yes.
Yeah. You already know what the baby weighs?
Yeah, I mean, it's below 3 kilograms, so it's around 6 pounds.
Okay, wow. Man, I didn't even know they could do that. They've made a lot of, I think when I was a baby, they couldn't even,
They say she's quite muscular, like me. And
Man, well, you've seen all the images. I'm sure you can see what she looks like. The face.
Yes, mesomorphic.
Mesomorphic. Perfect. Yeah, that's what you want to be, guys. You don't want to be an ectomorph. You don't want to be an endomorph. Mesomorph is what you want to be, jacked. So, yeah, I mean, 2 muscular parents, you're going to have a muscular child, I would think, right? So, all right. Well, we had some great questions. Let's get right into it. Can I give my girlfriend HCG to increase her libido? If yes, what dose should she use? She's 41 years old. She's on 25 milligrams of DHEA every day, but no change in libido. We tried to increase the dose to 50 milligrams a day, but it disrupts her monthly period, and she has it every 2 weeks instead of every 28 days as normal. How can I make her more horny? What other supplements or PEDs can I use?
Yeah. Now, funny how the HCG starts working with pregnancy because the placenta secretes HCG, and then women are also increasing their testosterone during that phase. And actually, in Eastern Germany, it was a way of natural doping. They used to get pregnant in order for the first 4 weeks, the first month. They had more testosterone than women. Yeah. And it was a way to perform better, stronger, faster.
Wow.
But definitely, I believe, yes, HCG increase also all the steroidogenesis, pregnenolone, progesterone, DHEA, and testosterone. Yeah. And I think HCG is a good way, but ask your gynecologist. I'm not supposed to know this and give a responsible answer.
Fair enough. Yeah, I've never even heard of women thinking about using HCG. I didn't know it was ever used for women.
In order to improve the ovulation, as also the clomiphene, okay. And it's a way in order to do IVF for women.
Okay, cool. Next question is about Ozempic, semaglutide, because that is the #1 weight loss drug. Nobody ever heard of it outside of bodybuilders till a couple of years ago, and now half of the obese people in America, I've even known some people that are using it and dropped weight. So, does semaglutide, is that even right? Ozempic just suppress appetite, or does it also preferentially lose fat instead of muscle? How does it compare to an ECA stack for safety and effectiveness?
It suppresses appetite, and in this way, you do fasting. During fasting, insulin goes down, GH goes up, glucagon go up, and GH burns fat in low doses. I mean, that's how we burn fat during fasting. But the problem with Ozempic is that if you do prolonged fasting, you're going to lose muscle tissue. That's why you need to eat your protein and do resistance training. Otherwise, you're going to have a skinny fat body type, physique.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the people I know who have used it, some of them, they don't even remember to eat. Like 4 or 5, 6 hours will go by and they're like, oh no, I haven't eaten since whatever time. And they literally have zero appetite anymore.
It's tricky when you use ephedrine and amphetamines during the cutting period of bodybuilding, and it's not cool to skip the 3-hour meal plan with protein and salad,
Yeah.
So from one point of view, you don't eat, but you're wasting muscle tissue. I refer to bodybuilders, okay?
Yep.
But even sedentary people need to preserve muscle tissue. Otherwise, losing muscle is a catastrophe.
Yeah. I mean, ecstasy, which a lot of bodybuilders used to party on in the club days long ago, like I used to use it back in the day, had no appetite. I remember going like 12 hours without eating, and I wasn't even remotely hungry. Didn't even think about food.
Same with cocaine also.
Absolutely.
That's why the fashion models, they eat 500 calories a day and they do cocaine and they're skinny fat with cellulitis.
Yeah. That's why everybody in the 70s and 80s was so skinny. They were all coked up. Yeah. Okay. Here's a good one. Can I stay on 50 milligrams of Tren forever? I'm on HRT, 250 milligrams of test a week, and 3,000 IUs of HCG 3 times a week. I was wondering if I can add a low dose of Tren at 50 milligrams a week and stay on it for life. What side effects should I expect from such a low dose? Will it affect my brain or my cardiovascular system? If not, what would be the maximum that I could stay on this dose without noticeable side effects?
So short answer is no. TRT is not about a mini cycle, and certainly we don't give a blessing to steroids along with testosterone for replacement therapy. Doctors listen to this and Morgenthaler and think that we're a bunch of bodybuilders that want to get jacked, calling it TRT. Okay, so don't use anything with a small dose of testosterone. It's about being physically and mentally well. If you want to do steroids, do it, but don't give it this name to TRT because get a bad reputation. Yeah. All right. So TRT is about being physically and mentally healthy, but introducing Trenbolone, which is neurotoxic, is not good. Even Deca is saying that if you have dry joints, osteoporosis, anemia, and muscle wasting for elderly people, you cannot get married to this compound, for a brief period of time, a short window, because you're going to have deviations to red blood cells, to HDL, to liver enzymes. Okay, in the long run, you're going to have some deviations.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Morgenthaler. I was a patient of Morgenthaler's, and I think he didn't tell me he didn't want to treat me anymore. He never said I don't want to be your doctor anymore, but he was very, very uncomfortable when
it's my blood work. It's a wrong perception.
Yeah, because I would say I was on TRT and I was throwing in Deca, Equipoise, other things, and he was very, very upset about that. He was not.
I will say the same thing. We don't give a blessing to that. It's a different thing. Right. It's about longevity and health. True. It's not a mini cycle.
Yeah, that's why it's TRT is just the term gets thrown around so incorrectly now. It's terrible. Let's go to the next one. Question: can I warm up my HCG with a hairdryer before injecting it subcutaneously, or will it lose its potency?
HCG needs to be stored in the fridge, but it's water-based, so basically there's no point of getting frozen,
Yeah.
So only it has to do with oil, because when oil is cold, then it needs to be. So no problem with water-based. Also, the growth hormone is the same thing.
Yeah, anything that's water-based, like if you're using insulin, growth hormone, even like they'll go in with no problem. It's the oil-based stuff that you really do want to heat that up if you're going through a smaller gauge needle, or else you'll be sitting there all day trying to get that 2 cc's or whatever of test and Deca into your muscle. Yeah. So good question, but here we go. Did you want to take this one, the training question about dumbbell flies?
Sure.
Okay. I got older and switched from dumbbell flies to machines for safety. Which pectoral machine is best? The one with the bar handles and arms outstretched wide, the one with cylindrical rollers close in that you push up against your upper arms, or the one with flat pads you push against your elbows and upper arms? So to demonstrate,
by far is the fly machine and not the back deck.
Yeah.
Fly machine does supreme stretching. Okay.
Yeah.
Now the back deck, perhaps it's easier because the torque is smaller, rather than this a lot. But in this, come on, it's extreme, supreme the stretching, huh?
Yeah. And I mean, you don't have shoulder problems, but anybody with shoulder problems, if you go heavy like that, you're going to feel it because it puts you in that position of external rotation. I think it's murder on your shoulder joints if you go heavy on that, the old school pec fly like that. But this one's perfect. You know, why would you? Most gyms, almost every gym has that. So we go for that. Okay, next one this is a long one. Can I use a low dose of aromatase between 37.5 and 50 milligrams a week for life? I'm on HRT, and even a low dose of 150 milligrams of Nebido, testosterone a week, makes my estrogen go sky high. Because of that, I have headaches, hypertension, makes me bloaty, sleepy, dizzy, and without energy. The moment I introduced a low dose of 12.5 milligrams aromatase 3 times a week, I feel great. Can I stay on this dose indefinitely? I read some studies that aromatase has a risk for aneurysm, and I got a bit scared, especially because my mom had a stroke, and I have a predisposition for cardiovascular and hypertension problems. If not, what else can I use? I tried DIM, 200 milligrams a day with calcium D-glucarate, 500 milligrams a day, but it doesn't help with lowering my E2.
Yeah, better use the aromatase, which is an isocyanates that we get from the 3 aromatase inhibitor, and certainly not the exemestane, the aromatase, because it's suicidal that crashes and tanks estrogen. And we know that estrogen is beneficial for the cardiovascular system, the endothelium, the mood, the sexual function, the bone health. So estrogen is something good. And actually, this is why testosterone is a blessing hormone, because it produces estrogen and DHT that both are useful. Okay, they have some side effects, but optimization is the best. That's why you cannot replace testosterone with any other steroid, because testosterone has the 2 metabolites that are also useful.
Yeah. As O'Connor says, test is best. He says that all the time. I like things that rhyme. Next question, also about estrogen. Is it possible high estrogen levels, E2 above 110, causes erectile dysfunction, exhaustion, brain fog, mood swings, lack of energy, lack of muscle mass, and water retention while on TRT? If so, what dose and which AI would you recommend?
Now, always remember that the amount of estradiol should be the reflection of testosterone, should be proportional. So if you have over 1,000, it's very reasonable to have over 100 estradiol. They go proportionally to a certain degree, okay? The problem is when you have 500 testosterone and 100 estradiol. That's why the problem arises. But yes, in some cases, if you have super high estrogens with not that, high testosterone, then it could have problem with the duration of the erection. Now, the fluid retention could be also the result of salt intake, but also aldosterone, because steroids and testosterone kick, aldosterone that retains sodium and water as a result. So, yes, you can manage this, but remember that you shouldn't just watch out E2, but also total testosterone, free testosterone that aromatizes. And as Connor says, the sensitive estradiol, okay, which is even more reliable than the total estrogens.
Gotcha. This next question is particular to people either living in Greece who plan on visiting Greece. Can you find Bayer testosterone in Greece? The only pharma-grade testosterone I was able to find in Thassos was testosterone from Norma brand, which frankly is a lot weaker than Bayer's Nebido or testosterone. Are there any other esters or official pharma-grade brands that you can find in Greece?
Or maybe it's weaker. I'll be using this. I don't think it's underdosed, but certainly it's not pure 1 ml. I think it's 0.8, 0.9 sometimes. But I've been using this, and no, it's not. It comes from Italy, and they make the final assessing to Greece, but it's made in Italy, actually, because guys from Norma came to my office and told me that. Okay, Bayer is like saying it's the Mercedes, okay? The Bayer that produces Proviron and Testoviron and Nebido or Avid.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good pharmaceutical grade, and certainly much better than other brands. That there was a guy that he was injecting 500, and in his blood, it was like he was injecting 200.
Ooh.
Crazy. And imagine if you're getting ripped for testosterone, which is a cheap compound, what the hell happens with Tren, Primo, expensive compounds, okay? Or even Anaber.
And that was a pharma grade test that he was using?
No, he was not. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
If you use it on the ground, most likely you're going to get robbed. Even in cheap compounds like testosterone.
Yeah. Because when he makes a statement like that this farmer grade testosterone is weaker or stronger than another, that doesn't even make sense because they're all held to very strict production standards.
1 ml, 250, most likely going to take you to 2,000 nanograms.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Okay.
All right.
Fair enough. Next one is, what do you do if your 5-alpha reductase is not responding from Deca only cycle or finasteride? After 5 months discontinuing Deca only, I don't respond to testosterone now and seem to crash my system from any 5-AR required steroids.
So this guy was using Deca and finasteride.
Yep.
I believe there's no need to use Deca with finasteride because Deca metabolizes to dihydronandrolone instead of dihydrotestosterone. That's why Deca is supposed to be friendly on the prostate and on the scalp.
Yeah. Okay.
The problem with this guy is that he did a monotherapy with Deca instead of introducing also testosterone that resulted in suppressing his own testosterone.
Okay.
So you never do a monotherapy unless you are in medicine and you want to do, let's say, to an old lady, you give just Deca, you don't give testosterone. Also to a guy that is 80 years old, he had a hip fracture.
Sure. Yeah.
But in steroid cycles, you need to introduce both compounds so that you don't face libido issues during the course of the cycle.
Yeah. I've never understood why people do Deca only cycles. Why do they think that's so much more beneficial than a test only? I know people that say I'm doing Deca for my TRT. So why would you do that? It's testosterone.
Actually, it's not TRT because it's Deca.
Right. It's not nandrolone replacement therapy.
I just told you that testosterone releases E2 and DHT, two very fundamental compounds.
Right.
Deca does not aromatize that much, and it doesn't also produce DHT, so it's crap. Come on. It's also neurotoxic to high doses, and we have facts from Olympic weightlifters back in the 60s that have distorted MRIs through Deca, even though it's not highly androgenic.
Yeah. So all you guys who are on only Deca and you want to argue, leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear your argument. Final question. Hi, Doc. Hi, Ron. What's the best way to keep cortisol levels low during dieting? Low carbs means high cortisol, means low testosterone.
So quit all the stimulants and use AM and PM, ashwagandha, rhodiola.
Fair enough. Yeah. Cortisol
kicks cortisol because it's a form of stress, both mentally and physically. You suffer with fasting, restriction of calories, deprivation of food. That's why you kick adrenaline and cortisol. They're going to do, in the first place, some bad fat burning, but also they're going to eat up muscle. That's why people doing fasting, in the long run, they may develop some visceral fat over here.
Fair enough. Because
the cortisol eats up all your limbs, and you have the Cushing-like.
Yeah, that's one of the number one reasons why people can't lose fat is their high cortisol levels prevent them metabolically from being able to do that. So relaxing, getting plenty of sleep, these are things that are overlooked. If you're always stressed out and you don't sleep, good luck losing fat. It's going to be very, very difficult.
That's why bodybuilders want to calm down and eat 8 hours straight before midnight to grow and also to avoid muscle wasting.
Yeah, and you always say, you've said it a million times, sleep 11 to 7.
Last night I didn't sleep that good.
Yeah.
For the first time today, I woke up at 10:30. It was horrible for me. And you're losing your circadian rhythm,
Yeah.
It's like when you travel, you feel weaker in the morning.
Oh,
energy.
I feel like I've lost half my brain when I haven't slept. It's horrible. Well, hopefully your baby doesn't cry all night and keep you awake. Hopefully you get plenty of sleep.
Well, I have another room. I'm telling Nancy, you go there, and she has to breastfeed every 3 hours.
Yeah.
If I want to bring money to the home, I need to sleep like a baby also,
Fair enough. That's a fair trade-off. All right. Well, that is it for this week. Guys, again, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, helps us out. And of course, leave any comments, leave questions for the next show in the comments section. Appreciate Dr. Tuliatos taking the time, especially on this new channel that we're building up every week, to come and help you guys out with questions you're never going to be able to get proper answers from your bro scientist buddies or from your own doctor who doesn't know about these things the way only a handful of doctors in the world have the authority to speak on the way Dr. Tuliados does. So thank you so much, George. We appreciate you very much. And here's to, by the next time we talk to you, that you'll be a dad and you'll have your beautiful daughter and all that good stuff. Yeah, you might have to bring in the next video. We'll see. We'll see if Nancy says yes or no to that. So that's it. Guys, thanks so much for watching this episode of Ask Dr. Testosterone. We'll see you right here next time. Thanks for watching.